Hello folks and welcome back to the program. Today I want to raise a question in an answer to some of the episodes I've been seeing on other people's channels. I found it through Mr. MAYO'S channel, had just uploaded a video talking about the poignant question in the realm of style and collecting and everything that I'm about. Is nostalgia dead? The death of nostalgia. I'm certainly excited to weigh in on the topic, but before I do, I want to ask you, check out Manza Illustrations. That's my personal company with my wife, working to bring you logo design, artwork pieces, gifts for family and friends, commissions, children's books, what have you. I cover it all. Anything you need artistically, I will provide it for you. Manza Illustrations, it's in the link below. And without further ado, let's answer the question, is nostalgia gone? You could argue many people who are into the new styles of life and keeping up with the times and the now and the know are completely forgetting the tactile and analog joys and pleasures of the mid-century and the past. A lot of young people, you look at the realm of golfers, you could even base it on golfers and the music scene. Anything in media has now changed, and it's gone down the tubes. For me, and I'm a 28-year-old man, the 2022 scene is not for me. I'm a huge nostalgia fan. I'm a big fan of nostalgic things. Everything was better back then, I think. The dream era is 1959 and 1965, I'd argue. That's a dream section of style, music, cars, architecture, you name it, tiki places, tiki drinks, luau's at home. I'm a fan of old things. I'm a fan of my heritage, of my grandfather. On this channel, I like to celebrate my heritage. This man in particular, my grandparents, my grandmother, my grandfather, all have a huge impact on who I am as a person. I came from a pretty big Italian family which I love and which I bring with me in my heart, and in my whole aesthetic is a mirror of how I grew up, because it's fond memories of growing up and having that stuff around and being inspired by your grandfather and celebrating your grandfather. How best than with the stuff that he grew up with, the stuff that he found dear, and the style choices that he implemented. You try to implement them in your daily life too. Believe me, if you try to do it, you will feel completely gratified. You will feel not only gratified, maybe more centered with who you are in your past and your upbringing. That is, if you had a good upbringing, as I certainly did. It makes you feel fortunate, and it makes you celebrate the people that brought you up to be the person you are today. Celebrating that tradition is what I am all about, and therefore that brings in a sense of mid-century modern aspects that I can't get enough of. I basically grew up with my grandparents. My mom would come pick me up after work and drop me off every morning. And of course, on every Sunday, we would see my grandma and grandpa make a big Sunday meal. And it still happens to this day. I call it the Sunday thing. Now, the Sunday thing still goes on. I call it that since I was a baby. Are we doing the Sunday thing? I couldn't wait to do the Sunday thing. And what I like to bring into my life is that every day of the week is the Sunday thing that my family would do every Sunday. And that certainly implemented a sense of culture in me, a culture that I took with me and expanded upon and brought into my daily life. Style is a big aspect, and I hold those morals huge in me, and that is what I'm nostalgic about. I'm nostalgic for what my grandfather loved, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. He still loves all this stuff to this day. The only thing I can't get behind is the opera music. My grandpa loves opera music. He listens to it to relax outside or read the paper on the patio. I can't get behind the opera music. But otherwise, everything else my grandfather holds dear, I do as well. I celebrate my grandfather every single day. To celebrate the wholesome pleasures of the past and the mid-century, and enjoying the things that he grew up with, the style choices, and what he loved about all that kind of stuff, and why I love it today. And yeah, we could bring it into the modern day. Yes, we can bring it into the modern day. Absolutely we can. We're not just talking looks here. We're not just talking how you dress and carry yourself. It's the music too, and what you collect. I collect things that bring back memories. My aunt would put on a Nat King Cole record. She could almost easily put on a CD, but she chose the record to put on when we did the Christmas tree for my grandmother every year. Things like that I hold so dear. This is really just a sum up in response to what really drove creativity for me, and I have a video of that on my channel. This was my first video on my channel, what drives creativity. In other words, basically, nostalgia for me drives creativity. 50s and 60s commercial art, Walt Disney early art, things like that, movies. If your family watches old black and white movies still, just like mine does, I mean, you're gonna love and want to go towards the light of that stuff, to sort of see what, to have a perspective to see what they love about it so much. To learn from your family. I can't speak for Stephanie, but on Sundays and on the weekends, she just craves being at her grandparents' house, having a bologna and cheese sandwich, ketchup and mayo, her grandfather's mac and cheese laying out in the yard, something playing out in the sun. You crave being a kid. It's that childhood side. Like me and Mr. Mayo says in his video, it's that childhood, your inner child. It never died for me. It never died, and I like to, of course, be an adult. I'm an adult all the time. But when you can be an inner child, sometimes you can let that free, let that be, and let it just have fun, and enjoy what you enjoy, and not ever think about it. That's the joy of nostalgia. I mean, you can go down many rabbit holes, and that's why I collect vinyl records. I like it's a window into a different time. Who owned this? How did they take care of it? To echo me and Mr. Mayo again, to listen to a song, you put right back. It's incredible how a song could instantly bring you back. If we didn't have nostalgia to look back on and remember where we've been, I mean, what kind of life would that be? I mean, it really would be a shell of an existence. I mean, you would just be always getting new things and never remembering the old things. Oh yeah, remember that? Flip phones. Oh yeah, I remember those. They sucked. Yeah, the keypad. You had to text on the keypad, A, B, 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 C, 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 to get any word. You could pretend kind of be nostalgic for it. Oh, yeah. But to me, I have a huge, deeper sense. It's a deeper sense of nostalgia. It's taking the DNA that make up your family or your grandfather. Say it's your grandfather you look up to, like I do. It's taking what he loves, even just physical things. This is what I go out in, this look. And that's how even in that picture, this is how he would go out. I mean, this is a man I truly look up to, this is a successful gentleman. And that's how I learned to be a successful gentleman as well. I hold those analog, tactile, physical things. I hold them dear to me. And although I'm so young, I didn't live through the 60s, the 50s, I am continually inspired by that kind of Dick Van Dyke aesthetic, the Dick Van Dyke Show, things like that. It's incredible to me. Palm Springs, everything that was sort of quaint and cozy, but showy and flashy at the same time. It kind of merged together, clean lines and all that kind of aesthetic is big time what I'm into. A lot of people that I do follow on social media are young like me. They're in their 20s, 30s, and they're celebrating this stuff. They're celebrating old things from the mid-century. And to be honest, there are too many to name. I can't name them all for you. But what I can say is that there is a community, a big community of retro enthusiasts and style enthusiasts and artists, designers who bring this stuff into their daily life as well, and they live by it even more than I do, way more than I do. and I am happy to see it. I follow them and get such inspiration from them in the current day and living and breathing embodiments of the word nostalgia. These young artists and designers, YouTube personalities, you name it, there are many who still live by it. And that is all I have to say about the topic. Nostalgia is not dead, and nor will it ever be dying. It's a small group of people that are ramping up. It's gaining traction. I believe there are people that do celebrate a simpler time, a more quaint time. Everything was more wholesome and fun. You see those drawings, you see those illustrations, you see those photos and stills, slides even. All this stuff was real. It's not phony. It's not fake. It was all fun and real. And the Jello molds were real. The Jello molds were real. And the meatloaf. I think we should never forget the good things about where we've been in the past. With that out of the way, I want to thank you for watching to the end of the episode. If you like this thing, share it, give it a thumbs up, and share it with a friend. And leave a comment down below. I want to know, what are you nostalgic about? Are you one of those nostalgic people who love the mid-century and older things? Do you look up to your grandparents? Do you love them? Show a little love down below and write a comment. I'd love to hear it and start a conversation. With that out of the way, you could find me lounging to a melody. Take care, folks, and bye-bye. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, folks, for tuning into this episode. If you do feel so inclined as to follow me on social media, you may gladly do so at Manza Media Art and Manza Media on every other platform. If you like prints, I've got an Etsy shop where you can see some of my original artwork and fan artwork. I'll catch you folks on the next episode of Manza Media.